Okay, guys, if you've been on the fence about if you wanted to get Diablo 4 or not, I can tell you this. It is worth the $60 or whatever you're going to pay for it. I got into the early access, and coming from Diablo 3, which I loved, I am absolutely in love with Diablo 4. I don't know why I was a little bit pissed off at the beta because it felt like Diablo 3 but just prettier. But something changed, and I don't know what it is, but everything about Diablo 4 is absolutely amazing. But with that, there's a lot going on in the game, and I do want to go over a couple of things that'll make your experience on launch day a lot easier than having to find out or get really confused about what's going on. So having said that, here are my 5 top tips on playing Diablo 4, especially on launch day. I hope these help you out because I wish I would have known these things before I started playing. And just a heads up, there may be some spoilers in here, so if you want to go into all of this blindly, this may not be the video for you. So tip number 1, I recommend you play the game at World Tier 1. Now, what is World Tier 1? That is the difficulty level that you're going to be playing the game on. You have 2 options at the beginning. You have World Tier 1 or World Tier 2. Now, what is the difference between World Tier 1 and World Tier 2? On World Tier 2, you get 20% extra experience from killing things. It's really not that much, and I'll explain why. I did a little test. When Bajira started playing, he chose World Tier 1, I chose Tier 2, and unless I was killing things constantly and going, he was keeping up with me and sometimes even surpassed my level. If your goal is to level up as quick as possible, you're actually going to level faster on World Tier 1. The 20% doesn't do much unless you're in go mode. And also, there's a lot of times that you may not feel as powerful if you're playing on Tier 2. On Tier 1, the monsters are a little bit weaker. You're going to feel more powerful. You're going to have a better experience playing the game. Just play Tier 1 through the campaign. Speaking of the campaign, that's my second tip, is stick to the campaign quests. Don't do any of the side quests. You're going to be tempted to do the side quests, which are the little blue exclamation points, or even the dungeons that are around in the area. But trust me, stick with the main campaign storyline, which look like these symbols right here. And there may come a point in time when the next quest in the campaign says that you're too low level to do it. And if that's the case, then go off and do some of the side quests or the dungeons, and that way you can get the level to where you need to be to continue the storyline. And now my third tip is don't imbue legendary aspects on weapons. And you're probably going, what the crap is a legendary aspect and what is imbuing? You're going to learn this pretty quick, but something different from D3 to D4 is that in D3, you would get legendary items, and that would be it. That's the item you get. It's stuck with a certain legendary ability. That's it. In D4, you can get a legendary item, whether it be armor or a weapon, and it'll have a legendary aspect like, for example, right here, after spending 100 Fury, your next weapon mastery skill deals 94% increased damage, something like that. Well, you can take that aspect off of that legendary item. The item gets destroyed in the process, and then you can put that aspect on a different piece of gear that you have. The only reason why I say don't put it on weapons or don't imbue your weapons is because you switch out weapons as you go increase in level so many times that you would have spent gold and mats to imbue a legendary aspect on a weapon only to change out that weapon 10 minutes later in the game. Now, I did find that with my helmets and my amulets and stuff like that, I wouldn't change those out for 5 to 7 levels later. So those I have no problem imbuing, but the weapons don't do that. And a big reason is because it costs a lot of gold. Now, in D3, gold was important to an extent, but you never sold your gear that you got from dungeon running, for gold or anything like that. You always salvaged it for materials. But in D4, I found myself selling gear that I've gotten because I was so low on gold. Gold is really, really important, and if you don't believe me now, just wait, you're gonna see. Now, my fourth tip is not really a tip, but it's more of a here's what's to come after you beat the campaign. And these are the 2 new events that open up after you beat the campaign. There are 6 acts, so after you beat all 6 of them, these 2 new events will be open up to you. The first one is the Tree of Whispers. It's kind of like the bounty system in D3. There's a bar, and this bar is filled with a bunch of little blocks. and you go and find these events, and they're worth a certain amount of these blocks. Once you fill the bar up, you return to the tree and you get loot. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory of how that works, but it's actually pretty fun. The other thing that will open up after you beat the campaign is prepping for your first capstone dungeon. And this is more like a kind of like a DPS check. The first capstone dungeon is in Kyovashed, which is a really important city that you're going to visit a lot, and it's based around level 50. Now, I beat it at level 48. You don't have to be level 50 to go do it, but in order to get to World Tier 3, you have to beat this capstone dungeon. And the first one you're going to do is the Cathedral of Light. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, but the main thing that you need to do in order to go do this dungeon is you have to switch from World Tier 1 to World Tier 2. You can do this two ways. You can exit the game and then you can go switch it, or you can go to the statue in Kyovashed and switch it in-game. And then after that, you proceed to the dungeon, do all the events in there, and then World Tier 3 will be open up to you, and that opens up a whole different game for you. Stuff like all the monster kills you do are going to give you 100% extra experience. New world events are going to open up, and new gear is going to drop. It's really, really exciting. And my fifth and last thing that I recommend is start doing your side quests after you beat the campaign. Now, before you go do your capstone, you're probably going to have to increase your level a bit, and side quests are the perfect thing to do in order to get that experience. And it's not just experience that you're getting, but you're also building rep with these different communities on the map when you do these side quests. And the rewards that you get for building the rep with these areas are really, really powerful. Like increasing the number of potions that you can have from 4 to 5 to 6. I'm currently at 6, and it does make a big difference when you're having a really hard fight. So following all 5 of these tips or, little things will get you to around level 50 in the game, which at level 50, the Paragon system opens up, and it's really new to me, so I don't really want to talk about it because I'm still learning it myself. But if you follow these 5 little tips or whatever, it's going to give you a really fun experience on launch day, which is happening tomorrow. And I think that you're going to fall in love with this game just like I have. Anyways, if this video was helpful for you guys, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I got a whole bunch of stuff coming here in the future that's game related, not game related. We're just having a really fun time over here. And also, if you guys are interested in hanging out with me on Twitch, I don't stream gaming stuff. I actually stream my gym workouts, and it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun talking about just anything, games, life, you name it. Here's the link. Come and hang out with me. We have a really good time over there. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful time playing Diablo 4. I've had a blast so far, and I can't wait to hear your stories in the comments down below. And with that, enjoy launch day, enjoy Diablo 4. I'll catch you guys later.